Why do some people sitting in prison cells learn faster, focus deeper, and transform more radically than students at top universities? Honestly, I never thought about it this way until I looked at the research myself. Think about that for a moment. One group has limited resources, limited freedom, and almost no comfort. The other has libraries, Wi-Fi, professors, scholarships, and opportunities. It just feels upside down, doesn't it? So why does the first group often experience more intense intellectual transformation? This isn't about prison being better, it's about something far more powerful. It's about how the human brain actually learns. And most people are doing it completely wrong. By the end of this, you'll understand why desperation rewires your brain for focus, why distraction silently destroys performance, why identity matters more than intelligence, and how you can recreate this advantage wherever you are. Let's break it down. And trust me, this is where it gets interesting. 1. Desperation activates the brain. Most students study because they have to. There's an exam coming. There's pressure from parents. There's a GPA to maintain. That's external pressure. But many inmates study because something internal is burning. A second chance, dignity, freedom, redemption. I can't imagine the pressure. It's intense. Psychology calls this intrinsic motivation, when the drive comes from within, not from rewards or punishment. Research consistently shows that intrinsic motivation increases memory retention, creative thinking, long-term consistency, and emotional resilience. When something matters deeply, the brain releases more dopamine during effort. That dopamine strengthens neural pathways. It makes the learning stick. In simple terms, when something feels personal, your brain treats it like survival, and survival gets priority. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If grades disappeared tomorrow, would you still study? Yeah, I know. It's a tough one to answer honestly. That question reveals everything. 2. Forced deep work. Modern learning environments are stimulation machines, constant notifications, group chats, streaming, endless comparison. The average young adult checks their phone over 100 times a day. That fragments attention into tiny pieces, and fragmented attention produces shallow learning. In contrast, prison environments often contain something most people have lost: silence, boredom, long, uninterrupted stretches of time. Cognitive science shows that deep, uninterrupted focus strengthens neural connections far more effectively than multitasking ever could. You don't learn deeply in chaos, you learn deeply in stillness. Seriously, it's that simple and that hard at the same time. The irony? We fear boredom, but boredom is often the gateway to mastery. 3. Identity transformation. In many prison environments, education doesn't just pass time. It changes identity, it shifts status, it changes how others see you, it changes how you see yourself. Psychologists call this identity-based behavior. When someone begins saying, "I am becoming disciplined," or "I am becoming educated," their actions start aligning with that identity. Now compare that to, "I just need to pass." One mindset builds a future self. The other survives the present. I used to think passing was enough. It's not. Your brain responds very differently when knowledge is tied to who you're becoming instead of what you're completing. Identity fuels consistency, and consistency compounds learning. 4. Rock bottom. Reduces. Ego academic environments are built around comparison, grades, rankings, recognition, status. The comparison activates stress. Stress releases cortisol, and high cortisol interferes with memory formation and complex thinking. Many people who've hit rock bottom describe something surprising. When there's nothing left to prove, ego relaxes. No more pretending to be impressive. No more performing intelligence. Just learning. And somehow, that's kind of freeing, isn't it? Philosophers call this the beginner's mind, curiosity without ego. And neurologically, that state is incredibly powerful. When you're not trying to look smart, you actually learn faster. That's the paradox. 5. Tight feedback loops. The brain thrives on fast feedback. In many academic systems, feedback is delayed and abstract. You study for weeks, you take an exam, you get a number. But when someone learns a practical skill and sees immediate results, the brain links effort to reward instantly. Short feedback loops accelerate growth. The faster the brain sees cause and effect, the faster it adapts. It's that simple. Really, it is. And adaptation is learning. So what's the real lesson? It's not about prison, it's about conditions. And honestly, that's what most people miss. The most powerful learning environment includes a strong internal reason, deep, uninterrupted focus, identity transformation, lowers ego, and honestly, faster feedback. None of these require bars, but they do require intention. So here's the final question. Are you learning because you're supposed to? Or because you're becoming someone new? Because the most dangerous person in any room isn't the one with the highest IQ. It's the one with a reason strong enough to eliminate distraction. And that edge? It belongs to anyone willing to build it. If this shifted your perspective, comment one word. Why? Because at the end of the day, that's what changes everything. Anyway, that's my take. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one.